Hello. How have y'all been? So it's been like 107 days since I've been on this channel, which is so shameful. Absolutely shameful. And it's not like I haven't had anything to talk about. Shit, I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, right? But I have my cyber training channel, and I also have my learning channel. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know. Look at that cyber training with Epiphany up there. That is not supposed to be up there. Get off of there. There you go. See, those what I'm talking about. I don't know. How can I combine? Okay, so you got cyber training with Epiphany. I got firing God, and I got the learning and development. So what I do? Put three banners up at the top with all of those things on it. I don't know, child, but this is the channel, right? This is the stuff that has, just permeated every single thing that I do. So it's funny, right? Because I have a Patreon, right? And I just started it. It's patreon.com/eday, E-D-A-Y. I have the link in the description, but it means everyone deserves an epiphany. Okay, that's what E-Day means. So I started a book club, and we're reading The End of Jobs, okay, by Taylor Pearson. Very interesting book. I read it like 2 years ago when I was, trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to get out of government, which I eventually did at the end of last year. But something very interesting, right, is that in the book, the author talks about leverage points, okay, which are the points in every system, be it our lives, our bodies, our workplace, our careers, relationships, like whatever, okay, every system where you can make a small change and get a big return. Small change with a big return. Now that's the word small is, very subjective and relative, but there's a list that the author didn't create it, like somebody else did it, because I did other research about leverage points and all that stuff, right? And there's a list that this person created, right, with leverage points. And on his list, or her, whoever did it, the number one thing that would change your entire life, right, your entire being, was a shift in mindset, right? Which is kind of close to it, because even that's not, really it. But a shift in mindset is a huge thing, right? And for me, it was more like it wasn't even a shift, right? It was more like a damn, what the hell? Well, I don't even know what to call it. Something just wasn't there anymore. Okay, it was just gone. Okay, something was gone, right? And that the space that it left or provide or show whatever the hell, okay, was an enormous leverage point, right? Because it's impacted the spectrum of what I consider my life. Okay. Everything, right? If you think about all my roles as a mom and a daughter and a whatever, a woman and whatever, all that shit got, just totally, revamped and relooked at, and even now it's just all fresh, So that was very interesting to see that, excuse me, on that list, right? Because that's really, and that was the most impactful one, right? I think the one that really didn't, is a leverage point, but you can't really do nothing, do nothing with it. It was, what the hell was it? Sure, I forgot. But, it's like, it's habits or some shit like that. I don't know. But that was very interesting. And I put on my vision board for this year, and I may have shared it on this channel, that one of the things I wanted to do was speak more about firing God, excuse me, to a larger audience. Not because they need to hear it, you know, which is something else I've seen and realized, you know, don't nobody need me. Nobody needs Cheryl. Nobody needs to hear Cheryl's voice. None of that stuff. And that's not a depressing, you know, nothing like that. That's the most liberating, which is why I'm going to say what the hell I want to say when I want to say it, because don't nobody needs to hear me. Okay. And that's the thing, right? My public speaking coach, his name was Robert Rabin, and he died of cancer. When did he die? Like 2 years ago, maybe. But he was also like my mentor, you know, and he's also on Buddha at the Gas Pump. I found him. How did I found him on YouTube, I believe. I was looking for a public speaking coach and I typed something in or whatever. And I saw him and I'm like, this dude talking like he know what the hell is going on around here. Or something, right? Even though he was talking about public speaking and shit, right? So I sent him an email and I said, you know, I'm looking for a coach and all this stuff. Because I was also taking public speaking courses. There was a course on Coursera. I was taking public speaking. It was really good. It was very good. So I hooked up with Robert and what the hell I started talking about that for? I don't know. But I hooked up with him and it was great. Like, you know, I really enjoyed our talks and, you know, all this stuff. And one of the things I say on my Patreon, so my Patreon is for all the shit I want to do. Okay. I have so many book ideas. It's redonkulous. Okay. It's redonkulous. I have this one book that I want to do called Roots Retold. Okay. Listen, I already got somebody working on the damn book cover. All right. And I barely got any of the book written, written at all. At all. But I want that book cover, you know, because that'll be like my motivation. It'll be on my vision board and all that stuff. But it's called Roots Retold, right? Because now I'm not trying to retell the story of Alex Haley's roots, you know, which, you know, we watched growing up for so many years. And so it's not about, you know, being enslaved and all that stuff. However, well, it is about that, but it's not about that story. Like, that's his story. That's his roots, all that stuff. Okay. Which I do identify with a bit, right? Because I went, when my baby was, I think Paul was 3 and he's 11 now. So what is that? 8 years? Excuse me, child. So 8 years. 8 years ago, I went to Africa. My then husband, who I'm no longer married to, thank God, thank the Lord, wanted us to visit him in Africa because he was doing some business stuff, whatever. So me and Paul, he was 3 at the time, took a long ass plane ride. Long plane ride. And the layover at Heathrow Airport was 14 hours. Anyway, so for number one, I didn't want to go. Okay, I did not want to go to Africa. I didn't. Okay. Number two, I didn't want to go. All right, I got shit to do. For Africa, for what? For what? Huh? Why we going there? Why? Number three, I did it because I was trying to be a good wife. Okay, trying to be a good wife, even though I didn't like that. Whatever, I was trying, pretending my ass off. Okay, so I went ahead and went. So that's the first thing. I didn't even want to go, and now I got this long ass layover with my baby. You know, which is terrible. You know, we didn't. So we were gonna stay in a hotel, but you got to check out of the airport to get to the hotel. I'm like, what kind of fuck shit is that? You know, I just want to go sleep somewhere. That was the worst. I mean, the absolute worst. Anyway, we finally get on the plane to go to Tanzania. That's where I was going, Tanzania. It ain't like we were going to the coast side of Africa. We going to the furthest from the further. Okay, we're going to the whole original Garden of Eden over here, right? So we finally get there. The plane lands, and I get out of the plane. And let me tell you something. I almost broke down. Listen, I almost just broke down crying. I got out that plane, and I'm telling you, I was like, I've been here before. Like, I know this damn place. I know this place. It was such a strong feeling of nostalgia. I can't even, it made me want to cry. And it was unexpected, right? That was the thing. First of all, I didn't want to be there in the first place. So I'm already agitated and irritated and angry, and wanting to go back home, right? Which is supposed to be here in the USA, right? But when I got off that plane, I'm like, okay, this is where I am. Like this is my home. This is where, I'm telling you, it was the weirdest thing. I did not expect it. Nothing, right? So I Alex Haley's roots, I'm there. Okay, I'm there. I am absolutely 100% there. I don't know where the hell I come from. I did a 23andMe, and I got 68% from the African kind of, I don't know, but what I do know is what I felt when I got off that plane, and it was so unexpected and crazy and just emotional. It was just, I can't even explain it, not even to this day. Okay. Anyway. So Roots Retold, though, is about one of my favorite people. Never met him, okay, but I've watched almost every video that's been made about him. I've read about him, and just all kind. I've written about him, okay. Two people like that I so admire. Both of them are long gone. I've never met them in real life. But the one I'm talking about, his name is Richard Feynman. Okay, he won the Nobel Prize in physics, I think it was, and I believe it was physics. One of the most amazing people, I have to say, from this side. He could have been a son of a bitch, to the people he knew personally. I don't know, but from my POV, he was absolutely amazing. Because he's a physicist, right? I mean, he understands complicated shit, right? But this man explains stuff so like a little baby, a toddler. He can go to the toddler room in Children of America and explain some shit, and them little toddlers would know exactly what he's talking about. And he's explaining physics type things, you know what I'm saying? And he has a whole technique called the Feynman Technique, where he helps you to break stuff down, and so that you understand it really well. Because one thing he says is, if you cannot explain it simply, then you don't understand it. You don't. I have witnessed that a lot. Okay, in my job, like everywhere, I have witnessed. If you don't get it, if you can't explain this, and all you do is go back to what the book said, whether, I don't care what the book is. Okay, it could be a book on, how to set up how to build a house, how to set up a computer, how to be a Christian, whatever. If all you could do is go back to the book, you don't know what the hell you talking about. You have no idea, none. You don't know. Okay. So what he has this one video where he's talking about fire. He talks about what is fire. Okay. And let me press this thing right here. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. But in that talk, it leads him to talk about trees, because he's talking about, things burning and the sun knocking the molecules, out of the carbon, like whatever. So it's happening really fast, and it creates chaos. And we call that chaos fire. Okay. He starts talking about trees and carbon and, and the sun and, all that stuff. And he says something. And the first time he said this, I'm like, that's the weirdest shit I've never heard. You know, he said, the roots of a tree and every other thing that has roots in the ground, okay, are not in the ground. The real roots of a tree are in the air, okay? They're in the air. That's where the tree starts. It starts in the air. That's where the roots are, okay? Because he's talking about, you know, how the sun has to come down and do all that shit it does to the molecules, and all, they do all this other stuff, and then the roots go down in the ground, and the nutrients and all that, you know, the water, so they help it continue to grow. But he said, no. Without the sun and what it does, you wouldn't have it. You could have all the ground and the water and the air and all you need. Okay, but if you ain't got no sunlight, right, you ain't got no trees. So now the first way I said, like I told you, it was like ridiculous. Like, Rich, I like you and everything, but you're sounding crazy right now. You're sounding crazy. But I kept thinking about it and looking at it and looking it up myself, and just thinking about it, And and I love nature shows and all that. I like that one narrator. What is his name? Richard Attenborough. I only like him to narrate. I don't like other people narrate. They sound weird, like you don't even sound right. I remember telling my boyfriend one day, he said, you want to watch this animal show? I said, who's narrating it? It depends. I don't care if it's what's that dude? The one that look old all the time. Him. I don't care if it's him. I like Richard Attenborough. I like, because that's what I grew up on, right? That's just the thing, him narrating those things. Anyway, so my book Roots Retold is about that, not the physics of, all that stuff, but it's about, because the sun does that all the time. Like the roots are like right now. It ain't shit, 300, 400, 500 years ago. It's right now. Okay, it's now. Okay, so what does that mean when your roots are now, not 1,000 years ago? Okay, the roots are now. They're not in the past. Not this perspective of roots. Okay, so what does that mean, especially for us? And I could say that especially for us, for me, for Black folks. What does that mean? Okay. Who are our ancestors, when roots are now? Mm-hmm. What does that mean? So it's a project I want to complete, that I'm going to complete, because I think it's important. I'm also going to create a whole talk on it, because one thing that I don't do in this space is talk to my folks about this, about life without a witness. Okay, because now I've been a part of what is it called? I can't think of nothing today. What the hell? What the hell is that thing? The Black Atheists. We got so many blacks in something. I just joined Blacks in Cybersecurity. Child. The Black Atheist group right there. It's called something else. I can't think of it though. But I presented at their conference in 2005. The people are amazing. They're wonderful, and our stories are so much alike, right? Because one of the things that drew me to that group, to want to really talk, to the people who come there, right? This is gonna drive me nuts. What the hell is this thing called? Let me look up the lady who runs it. Her name is Mandisa. Is it Thomas or Tom? Mandisa Thomas. Black Non-Believers. That's what it's called. Hey, Mandisa on Wikipedia. Go, girl. That's when you know you made it, child. When you're on Wikipedia. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I went to speak. Look, I'm looking up something else online. at the 2009 conference, right? And it was awesome. It was very, I really liked it. And I really enjoyed, there was a pastor there who was still a pastor. Like, he wasn't there trying to become a non-believer, none of that shit. What's his, he was there, which was surprising to me. I'm like, damn, dude, but he spoke, and it was awesome. It was really great. And the fact that, Mandisa is even open, she's open to having a pastor at a Black non-believers conference, which really shows the goal of this group. The goal of this group, now you have individual people, but you have that in everything, right? They just, they just are who they are, whatever. But the goal is to help, because one of the things, to help and to bring folks together, okay? Because it's not about, one thing that I heard a lot when I was there is that we, Black people, okay, African American, whatever the hell you check on the census thing, are scared to, and we call it, it's like coming out, all right? Some of our parents would rather we be gay, right, which is frowned upon, a lot in our community, right, because of religious reasons and all that shit, okay? I'd rather you be taking it up the ass by another dude, okay? Or getting your lickety split on with another woman than for you to come up in here talking about you don't believe in God, okay? Let's be all the way real. Let's do that. So a lot of them were scared to come, to say, not even I don't believe, just I'm questioning. They can't even ask the damn question. They can't even ask, is God? No, you're not going to do that. And listen, Christian, I know, listen, I was one, I know what I'm talking about. I've said all these words, all right? We claim that, oh yeah, God wants you to ask questions. He does. He wants you to be honest, and he wants you to, well, what about the question of, is there a God? Like, is this stuff true? Is this really true? Can I really question that? Okay. And they'll tell you that you can. I've said, yeah, you can question it, but you really can't. Okay. You absolutely cannot. You can't question it in a way that will, what is it? It's like, question is different than doubt. Okay. You can question till the damn cows come home. Okay. You could ask 100,000 questions. Just don't doubt that he's real. Okay. Don't doubt it, but you can question it. Right. It's like a thin line, but it's there. Okay. And people are afraid of that, because they know, and I know exactly what that feels like. Look at my book. You see the title? It says Firing God. Okay. I'm from Southern Louisiana, come from a family, okay, a whole lineage of religious folks, preachers and deacons and ushers and all this other kind of stuff, right? And I talk about that in the book. I love going to church, child, loved it. I would cry if I didn't go. Like, what's wrong with you? We need to go here, okay? Now, there was no, so it was when I talk about it in the book, it was the moment in my bedroom where it wasn't even doubt, right? Because when I told God to fuck off, I still thought I was talking to God. I didn't doubt he was there. I did not doubt he was there. I knew I was talking to somebody, up there, a higher being who was hearing me right now, At no moment did I ever question or doubt that there was a God. None. Okay. Even in that moment when I said, fuck off, I knew I was talking to him and he was listening to me. Okay. So that in that group, I really felt compelled to go to that group, because to get to the point where you actually do doubt, that's a major thing. You don't want to tell nobody that, because religion permeates everything that we do. The workplace, okay, the grocery store, when you pay your bills. Oh, I mean, child, walking down the street, the park, babysit. Everything for us. It's everywhere. Okay, we can't get away from it. The system is just set up like that. So to be the Doubting Thomas in the group, come on now. Imagine you a Patriots fan, from a family of Patriots fans. You've been wearing Patriots gear since the day you were born. Your first newborn baby picture got you in a Patriots hat. Okay, you've been cheering for Patriots your whole life. Your whole life. And one day, you come over for Thanksgiving for that game with some Green Bay Packers gear on. What do you do then? Huh? How you think that day gonna go? Now you got the gear, you got the Green Bay stuff on, okay? You're not just thinking, oh, I think I like the Green Bay. I don't like them Patriots. You done put the stuff on and all, that nobody wants to do that. You were raised on the Lord, okay? You were raised. You sang in the choir. You prayed, you healed people, you got healed, you spoke in tongues, all of that stuff. Okay? You wore the gear, you set up the conference, all that. How you gonna come up in here talking about you doubt for what? Who? Doubt what? Who? Huh? The devil is a liar. Okay? That's hard, and you don't want to get that from your family, because they have expectations of you. You're supposed to be the good Christian man, woman, whatever, right? Do whatever else you do, but just don't doubt God. Don't. I think we even sang a song in church about that. Don't doubt the Lord or something like that. Yeah. So on my vision board, like I really want to, but so I talked to them, and I talked to them about my book, but those are not the people that my message will fully resonate with. Now I can identify with them and they can identify with me when it comes to, because religion is one of the places where, when this whole entire paradigm shift happened, I was able to see that shit ain't real. That's not true. That's one of the areas that's not true. Okay. That I was absolutely 100% wrong about. Okay. That I was wrong about. So it no longer served me. So I decided, I don't need this belief system anymore. I don't need it anymore. I see that I don't need it anymore. Why you hold on to some shit you don't need no more? Okay. So I let it go. Okay. I let it go. And, I was angry and all this other kind of stuff. However, there are other belief systems, okay, that I hold on to, or held on to, that I also had to look up. They have nothing at all whatsoever to do with religion. Nothing. Every belief system I had, from the most fundamental to, Cheryl, you are even here, or you're Black, or all of this stuff, or you're a woman. Now when you start questioning, you can question the religion now, okay, but don't question all this other stuff. See, that's where the incongruence lies, right? Because I'm not just talking about religion, okay? You got a whole belief system about what a woman is or is supposed to be. Okay, a whole one about what a mother is or is supposed to be. Or what you're, or what you are, just you. Forget about woman, man, whatever. Human. You got a whole thing. Okay? That shit unravels too. It's not just a religion. All of it is wrong. All of it. All of it. I don't care what the hell science say. I don't care what the preachers say. All of it is wrong. Okay? Now, what does that mean? That don't mean I come up with what's right. Okay? Because what I come up with, that's going to be wrong too. Listen, one of the most amazing quotes that I read, one of them, is by a statistician. His name is George Box, I think. George Box. This statistician, this man, he said, not me, he said, all models are wrong, all of them. There is no absolute truth. I don't care how good the scientist is. I don't care, even Richard Feynman, who run the Nobel Prize in physics, okay? And he'll even tell you, right? There is no absolute truth here. I don't care what, the earth is round, we're breathing air, we're human beings, we're animals. There is no absolute truth here. Everything we have is a model. Everything. Because to know the absolute truth, you got to know everything. We don't know everything. Who knows everything that can say absolutely true without a doubt, this is what it is? I'm not, you know what? I'm not going with that stuff. Like, I'm not going to get caught up again. Let me tell you that. I'm not going to get caught up. All right. I'm not falling for the okie doke. I don't care who it comes from, what the authority figure is. I don't care. I'm not falling for the okie doke. I'm not going to do it. So he said all models are wrong, but some are useful. Is it useful for it? Is the model of Earth as flat more or less useful than the model of Earth as round? Which one is more useful? For most, well, I don't know, but I'm just saying for most people, the round one is more useful. Okay, so that means I can go as far as the hell I want to go without fearing falling off the side of the earth. Okay, for some, the flat is useful for whatever reason. I don't know, but they have their reasons. It's not just scientific. A lot of them get a lot of meaning from believing that the earth is flat. Okay. What's useful? Okay, which model is more useful to you? That's the question we need to start asking. And stop, is it right or is it wrong? Who gives a shit? It's neither right or wrong. The question is it useful? Is the model of what a woman is, what a mother is, what a Black woman is or is capable of, are those models or belief systems, are they useful? Is it useful to believe that there's a God out there with control of everything and a devil that you have to fight so that you can get to heaven? Is that useful? Yes, some people it is. Absolutely 100% useful. It's not right or wrong, because that's not the question anymore. The question is that shit useful? For me, no, it no longer was. Once I saw, what I saw, it wasn't. My idea of a mother was no longer useful either, or a wife. That shit wasn't useful. It wasn't useful. Okay. And something else that I was able to see. So I got a choice. I ain't got to take on this shit if I don't want to. Okay. Yes, when I was born, I had on Patriots gear. I went to all the games. I sang the songs. I spent the money to fly out to see them. I got the the autograph football and all this stuff. Okay, all of it. Okay. But I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be a Patriots fan anymore. I want to do something else. Being a Patriots fan is no longer useful for me. Okay. Now, when it comes to us and fearing telling people, that's one of the main indications that believing in God is useful for some of these people, because it is not about God. It's about the team. If I remain a Patriots fan, people are gonna, I'm a part of the tribe, right? I get all the gear. I get invited to the cookouts. I do all that stuff. Okay, I feel like I'm with my family. Why? Because they're my family? No, because we all believe in the Patriots, because that's our team. Okay, blood ain't got nothing to do with it. You know. It's because we on the same blood. But do you believe in the Patriots? Come on over here. Come on over here. We got a book, but we all read this book. If you're a Patriots fan, you got to read this book. Okay. If you're a Patriots fan, these are the rules. Okay. This is when they're on a game night. You got to show up at this time. You know, you bring the snacks. You do all that, right? You got to buy the gear, because the people got to differentiate you as a fan. You know, Patriots from the Saints or another team. So we have to be set apart. So how do we do that? We have a logo that we use, and nobody else uses it. It's ours. Okay. And that's how other people know that we're on this team. Okay. You get a lot of perks. You get a lot of perks when you're part of the team. Okay. But if you show up talking about some green, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. You get all these benefits and stuff now you want to show up with this other stuff on. Are you sure that's what you want to do? Because we can't mix. You can't be here if you're going to have that gear on. You gotta go, because the book says, okay, we have to be set apart from the Green Bay Packers and the Saints and all the other stuff. Okay, it's not us. Okay, but these are the rules. All right, these are the written rules. So you got to go. People don't want, and families are good for that shit. They are absolutely good for that. Thank God. My family is not like that. Okay. They're absolutely not. My family, even though like they love the Lord with all their heart, mind, body, soul, lashes, eyebrows, teeth, hair, eyeballs, clothes, nipples, toenail, everything. Okay. Everything. But when I showed up with firing God in my hand, it was hard. It was tough. Okay. I know it was very hard. It was tough. I was scared to tell my mom. Like, so I know I know it was a hard thing to do. I absolutely get that, to do that. But, I was not kicked off out of the tribe. I'm still here. I don't feel I'm as close to too many of them as I was when I believed that way. Just like, if your whole family is Patriots fans and you show up in some, weird ass Green Bay Packers shit, they'd be like, okay, listen, you can stay, but there's going to be a little distance now, right? Because you don't believe, or you're not a fan of the Patriots. You're more, over here. So there is that, whatever. I get it. Okay. But I'm still there. Right. We still together for the most part, but everybody doesn't have that opportunity. Everybody is not treated like that by the people who love them and that they love, I saw some of the saddest, oh my God, this documentary was so sad, but it was about it was talking to parents and guardians of children who come out as gay or lesbian or something else. I remember this one story very clearly about a mother, you know, who had since whose daughter committed, was it her daughter? Yeah, I think it was her. Yeah, her daughter committed suicide, you know, because she just felt so alienated, you know, like, you know, and rejected by her mother, you know. And I just told, was that y'all? No, that was on my other channel. But I was talking about how in that the still face experiment, how when the mom had a still face and she didn't react to the baby, how the baby just got, you know, she started crying and, you know, looking around and just, she was just very agitated, right? The mom was still there, she just wasn't reacting, right? Whereas before she was. So it's the same kind of thing, you know, her mother rejected her, you know, which is a terrible, terrible thing. I've never experienced that, thank goodness, but I can only imagine what it would take out of a child and the mother. That has to be a terrible thing. Listen, what the hell is that eagle called? There's an eagle. I forget what it's called, but it's got this big old plume around its head. But that eagle, right? It has the baby eagle, and for like, I forget how long, like 2 weeks maybe, it stays in the, I don't know how, 2 months, whatever. But there comes a time when the baby has to leave. Just by instinct, it's time for you to go, okay? But if it doesn't fly out of the nest, the mother and I guess the dad, the baby eagle's parents, they eat it. Like, look, you got 2 weeks, okay? If you don't get your ass up out of this nest, okay, we gonna have us a feast, right? But we are not eagles. Humans don't work that way. Okay, we don't do that, right? Y'all got kids up in the house 30, 40, 50 years old right now, all up under you, using your electricity and water and all that stuff, okay? That ain't none of my business. I'm just saying, we're not like that, many of us, okay? Most of us, right? So to reject your own child, that has to be a traumatic thing for both, for the parent and or guardian and the child, you know. So the story was just so sad, you know. It's so sad. So I could totally identify with this group, this Black non-believers group, for fearing to come out, to say to their families, their parents, their grandmother, come on now, you want to disappoint your grandma? You don't. I mean, your grandmother, I talk about my grandmother and firing God. This lady was everything, you know. The last thing in the world I would want to do is disappoint my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like, which is why I was really compelled to go and talk to them, you know, to share, you know, my story. I just talked about the religion side of it because, you know, that's what it was about. But I wanted for this, you know, on my vision board this year, like I said, I really want to talk more about firing God and what that actually means, you know, and what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. Like, what does firing God look like? What do I like the second I wake up in the morning? What does it look like? Okay, what's different? What's different? And I'm not into, you know, bashing religion or anything like that. You know, I mean, like I said before, when I believed, it was useful for me to do so. You know, it was because listen, and this is not because when you leave, just like I talked about the example of the Patriots, right? When you leave a religion, you're not just leaving the church. Child, you throwing away eternal life in heaven. You throwing away God's favor. Okay, you're throwing away protection and all those other things you believed you got. When you believed, you're throwing away all that. All that got to go. Okay. You know, which is why some people are like, well, I don't know. What if it's true? I don't know. I got to keep one foot in the whatever. Okay. You know, because people don't, I don't, but you see, I'm there too. Like, because I'm saying I don't believe in God, that doesn't mean I know, you know, for sure. Could there be a entity out there somewhere in the universe or whatever, looking at folks, and you know, there could be. Shit, I don't know, but it's not useful for me to believe that. You know, it's just and make up all these stories. I mean, all the stories in the world, child. It is that's not useful. It's exhausting, is what it is actually. You know, trying to follow all these and basing all my decisions on this book. Like, no, we're not doing that no more. Not over here. We're not gonna do that. You know. So what's useful for me now is questioning. I mean, listen, I question a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. A whole bunch of stuff, I'm telling you. I really do. I really do. And I don't question it to find a better answer. Okay. I question it because I'm goddamn curious. Like, how you know this? Okay. Like, how do you know? Okay. Who told you that this is what it is? From the very fundamental thing. Okay. And how did they know? Okay. And then how did that person know? Who told that person who then told? You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go way, if you go way back and figure, for example, let me look this up real quick. Who was the first person that said we are human? I've been curious about this a lot. Not where the first human came from. That's not what I'm talking about. Who called it human? Who said that? Right? And that a human is this, and this. Okay. I'm assuming it was a human who did it. It wasn't a bird who did it. You know, a fish didn't jump up out the ocean and be like, listen, y'all human. Like we do to them. We say y'all fish. A fish don't know what the hell a fish is, okay? A shark don't know what the hell a shark is. All right. So it seems like, would it be the same way for us? Okay. Child. Who told so another human told a human you a human? It's like, you know what? That just don't make no sense whatsoever. And don't tell me anything about the Bible, because I already told you that shit was written by some person who got a heartbeat just like me. Okay. See the same stuff I see. Child. So I wonder about stuff like that. Like, how the hell you know? Okay. How you know? I don't care how many scientific methods you used. What are you using? You got to use your sight and you got all the same senses I got to find out what you like. That don't even make no sense. That's like biting your own teeth, which is what what's that dude's name? Alan Watts said. Can you bite your own teeth? No, you can't. You can't say what you are. Shit. How you and it's listen, it's like in my last job, right? At I can't tell you about my last job in training and policy. They would always be talking about we got best practices. And I'm like, how you gonna say, how are you, the person doing it, gonna say best practices? That's not how you do that. Somebody from the outside gotta come in here with some standards and say best practice. You can't say that. How you gonna say that? Shit. It's the same way, child. We need an alien to come over here and be like, oh, okay, this is what y'all are. Y'all not no humans. Y'all something, whatever the hell. Anyhow, how long I've been on here? I'm trying to make up for them 107 days that I have not been on here. Okay. Now let me talk about, what do I mean by life without a witness? Because that sounds weird as I don't know what. Weird. Life without a witness. Let me see. We got this Facebook group with these ladies trying to get into cybersecurity, and they be asking some questions. Child, 86 unread messages. Oh my God. I think they could just pick up the phone and call, right? I don't know. We like texting so much these days, don't we? What the hell was I saying? Life without a witness. Okay, what does that mean? So one of my stories in Tales from Eternity, which is like the prequel to Firing God, okay? I call it, I think I call it Love on Trial. That's what I call it, Love on Trial. And it's a story where, like, it's, you know, there's a courtroom and you have all of the senses on the stand so that they can testify as to how they know you are what you are. Like, how does your sense of touch know that you are what you claim to be a human? How does your sense of touch know that? Well, you know, the sense of touch is on the stand. I was like, well, I heard it from speech. Speech said that they were human. Okay. Speech, how do you know that you're a human? Speech is like, and I could be getting this wrong, child. You got to read the book to see who said what, but the gist of it is, speech was like, I heard it through the ear. The ears told me. The ears, who told you? You know, that you were, well, sound told me, you know, and sight, who told you that you were what, so sound, so they all point to another sense as a witness to what, but like, like how, but how do they know? You can't, touch can't tell hearing, because it's all the same thing, right? So how do you know? How do you know? The sense of sound said it, you know what I'm saying? If you really think about the things we believe, just think about, like, the most fundamental things that we take as absolute truth because we learned it in school, because our mama said it, because the pastor said it, because we read it in a book, because we had a dream, all this stuff, because we got chill bumps when somebody mentioned it. Listen, what are you using? And then thinking was in there too, okay? You can't not have a thought at all, not one. Not one thought can you have without your senses. Not one. Not one, okay? Because you need all that to you know, you got, it's all the same thing is what I'm telling you, okay? And even if you really look into stuff like the eye, it's like, I read this article by some optometrists. That's the people who do the eyes, right? Optometrists. And even them, these people go to school for this shit. They say, you know, the eyes don't see. The eyes, they don't see. The brain is what sees. It's not the eyes. You know, the eyes are like a telescope, right? The telescope don't see. The thing behind the telescope is what sees, right? So it's the same for, like, it's actually the brain that does all this stuff, you know. And I never thought to even, you know, ask that question. You know what I'm saying? So life without a witness is like, when you really look at it, who are the witnesses? Who are they? Who even say you're here? Or you're you? You know, me and somebody. Oh, maybe it's oh, that's what I want to tell y'all about too before I leave. Me and Emerson Rad, right? He's heading up the Nothing conference. I have the link in the at the bottom here below the video. I think it's nothingcon.com. So I'm going to be speaking there. I think it's September 19th is when I'm speaking. But there's a lot of other good speakers. We're going to be talking about the stuff I'm talking about here, just maybe in a different kind of way or whatever. But So we were talking, right, the other day, we were doing an interview because he read Tales from Eternity, and we were just talking a little bit about that. And he brought up the story of the Love on Trial. I think that's what it's called, Love on Trial. I gotta read that damn book again. See what I did. But so life without a witness is like, okay, if there's no witnesses, then what's going on? If there are no witnesses, it's almost like if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one to hear it, did it make a sound type thing. If you have a crime or something that happened, but nobody saw it, nobody. Did it even happen? Do you need a witness for something to happen? I think you do. Let's go back to the thing we talked about with the girl. What the hell? The experiment with the baby and the mom. When mom had a still face, it's called the still face experiment. Go on YouTube. Still, STILL face experiment. Go look at it. When the mom did this and stopped reacting as if she was not there, she clearly was, but there was no response. There was no response. So it's like there was nothing there, okay? So is anything happening? Is anything if there is no witness, okay? So life without a witness is that. It's about the idea that there really are no witnesses, okay? Now, what does that mean? Where does that leave you? One thing that I talk about in Firing God, and then what the hell have I been on this damn thing? Ooh, almost an hour, 3 more minutes. One thing that I say, and I say a lot of stuff, Joe. But one thing that I say in Firing God is I was so upset and terrified when I discovered that not only was that there was no God to see, hear, or know me, but that nobody could see, hear, or know me. Nobody knew me, nobody, which sounds ridiculous if I'm talking to you on this damn camera. Don't that sound weird? That's why I can't talk about this kind of stuff with the Black non-believers, okay? Because no, we're not doing all that over there. We do the religion, but we're not doing all this other stuff, okay? That's not the venue. So this year was about the venue, and one thing that Emerson asked me was about how did my people, people who look like me, how did they receive this message? Well, they don't. Okay, they unless they read my material, but there's recently this lady reached out to me from England. This Black lady reached out to me from England. I think, yeah, she talked to someone else I'd done an interview with, and he told her about me. So, some of us, are willing to hear this kind of thing, right? But we have so much invested in God and the church and all the other belief systems that seem to circle around God and the Bible and church. Okay, so much invested, so much, to just lose that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing. I just recently, got my ass involved in these damn susus that are going on right now. Just recently, and I was, mad as a hornet child when it looked like I was about to lose some money. I just know that was just money. Okay. That was just money. I ended up getting it back. Okay. But we don't want to lose. Okay. Especially when we think it's something valuable. Valuable. Okay. That's the thing. I can lose, I've lost plenty of things, but if it wasn't valuable, I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just, get another one or forget about it or whatever. But something that we consider valued, and something that's valuable is something that we can use to get something else. Okay. Something that's valuable gives us freedom to choose something else. I don't want this, I want that. Okay, I got the money for this, but I want to get that. Okay. I say in Firing God, belief in God is a meal ticket. That's value. Because this belief is going to purchase eternal life in heaven for me. All right. This belief is going to purchase whatever I can get down here on earth. Okay. It's a meal ticket, but it's not just religious belief. All beliefs are like meal tickets. We use them to purchase what we really want. We don't want the belief. If we can get what we really want without the belief, we do that shit. Okay. But we feel like we need the belief. Okay. So we're going to use it to purchase whatever it is that's on the other side of it. That's on the other side of it. Okay. That's what it is. Man, I should have told that to Emerson when he asked me about that. I said something else. I don't know. I've been on here 1 hour, 1 minute, and 56 seconds. Okay, it's time for me to go. It's 11:09 at night. Y'all see I got my hair cut, right? I started shaving my head on the sides because when I put braids in, y'all know how we do. The braids, they just snatched my edges all the way out, child. My hair is supposed to be like, you kind of see it, it's growing back a little bit. But I got these pills on Amazon that's supposed to help grow your hair and your nails, because my nails be struggling, child. Just like my edges. My nails and my edges be struggling. I'm telling you, struggling. But I think, look at that. You see the little fuzz right there? It's growing. I like these pills, whatever they are. I feel like they're working. Well, that's just like placebo effect or some shit. I'm just seeing things that aren't there. Are y'all witnesses to my edges coming back? Can you see that? Make sure you put in the comments if you witness some edges, okay? Because I'm trying to grow them back. I see a little fuzz here, okay? But I need a witness, okay? It can't just be me. Because if it's just me, it ain't true, okay? I need a witness to make it true. All right. I'm gonna see y'all here more often, especially after I do the thing, right? How many people I got on this thing? Because I've been seeing y'all come in and out while I was talking. I think I only have like, 23, 25 subscribers here or something. I can't see shit on the stream. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Anyway, it's in the 20s, okay? So I ain't gonna be on here all hours of the day. If barely anybody come up in here now. So if y'all want me to come to this channel, I need folks to be here, okay? So that we can get into some things, all right? And let me say one more thing before I go. I know I said that already. I do non-dual shit, right? Under that umbrella. I do it under that umbrella, but I don't even know what that is. And one thing that Emerson talked about that I thought was awesome, right? Lord have mercy. Y'all, I put these magnetic lashes on and I got the cheap kind, trying to be cheap. And can you see? I know, look. They ain't even all right, y'all. They're not sticking or something. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, Emerson was talking about doing I forgot what he called it, like non-duality in color or something like that. Because one of the things I asked at the end of Firing God, I said, where are all the Black people? Where we at? You can't come. We can't. Here too. Here too. Y'all got everything else. Okay. But you got enlightenment too. Where we at? I thought that was the strangest thing because this whole perspective is different. Like this whole perspective is just, and I'm like, where we at? Like for real, And but I'm gonna address that in Roots Retold as well, because and Emerson said something really interesting, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay, self-actualization and all that bullshit is way up there. If you hungry, and you really seriously trying to find where your next meal coming from, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. And the thing is, when this thing happened, right, and all this whatever fell away, I ain't have time for that shit. Child, I was going through a divorce. My house was being foreclosed on. I had stuff happening. I did not have time for no universe bullshit. Okay, I ain't got time for this. All right, listen. Give me 6 months to take care of what I need to take care of here, and my kids, and my job, and this house, and this man, that I got to divorce myself from. Just give me some time to take care of it, and then I'll come back to the universe, to self-actualize, whatever the hell. Okay. That didn't happen. I had to do work. I had to do this work. This is not something that you just wake up and, the bright lights are on and you see the Lord or whatever, and everything just euphoria and, no. This is some messy shit. I'm telling you. When this stuff happened, it's like all the devil and all his demons just came, was like Cheryl, her. It was like this right here, her. Okay, because shit just came out of the woodworks, child. Out of the woodwork. I mean, my life just fell completely apart. It was hard. It was very difficult. Okay, and if at any time, I could have not been or changed my mind or whatever the hell, if I could go back to what it was before, I would have done it, because it was so difficult. It was, I don't even have the words I don't have the words for what happened. And I don't have the words for how hellish it was afterwards. I don't. Okay. So don't think that it's just, some fuzzy wuzzy woo type shit, because it's not. It absolutely is not. Okay. This is work. Ain't nobody to blame. I ain't got no devil to blame for shit. None. He gone. I told somebody the other day, I wish he was back here, because I need Satan right now, because I gotta blame somebody for the decisions I'm making. That would be so much easier. Okay. I need God right now, because I need somebody else to have agency. I need somebody else to have control. Okay. I can't keep coming back to Cheryl and the decisions she made. Okay. I can't do that. I can't. Okay. I need somebody to blame, damn it. So don't think is a bunch of woo shit, because it ain't. It absolutely is not. It ain't. I can't blame my mama. I can't blame religion. I can't blame anything. Okay. All I can do is see what I'm accountable for. Okay. And go ahead and take control. Take the reins right there. Okay. That's all I can do. That's a lot of hard work. Especially when you're dealing with emotions and feelings and all that other kind. Listen, it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. Okay. And it's not a religion. It's life. Shit. It's living. Okay. That's what the hell it is. Choosing to live. Finally. In my, when the hell, in my 40s, I'm finally choosing to live. Okay. And be accountable. Okay. And and ask questions, you know, and stop acting like a baby. You know, hanging on God's teat, you know, don't want to cut the umbilical cord, you know, grow up. I had to grow up. I had to, you know, I had to grow up. Put my devil and God toys in the toy box and grow the hell up. Okay. All right. I'm out of here. Again, if y'all see the replay, go ahead and make some comments. Please witness my edges for me. I would really like that. So I'll see y'all back here soon. I told you I got a lot to talk about. A lot. A lot, y'all. So I'll see you back here, okay? Bye, y'all.